Hey friends, this is Avi here from Avi Plays Fortnite, here with another installment. This one's going to be a little bit longer, and the topic of this is how to kill the storm wild golems in Lost Isles biome. Okay, so if you haven't seen before, I've done another episode, a short episode on getting brute scales and killing brutes and how to go about that. I'm going to put a link here in the shot. But let me preface this by first, I want to apologize for the audio quality of the original video recording. I've kind of reduced the volume and I've done what I can in post-processing. I kind of got dirty by the Xbox game bar. I should be using OBS. But just to dive into here, what you want to do is get ready before you go after Stormwild Golems. Actually, probably the hardest part of this is actually going to be finding a Stormwild Golem. So, barring, understanding that you are going to find them, you want to make sure you have a good pickaxe. Probably want two, just in case. You want plenty of shields. Their hits can pack a mighty punch. I go for the gem shields usually. You can use knockback shields or lesser shields, but they might break on you mid-battle, in which case you want to have several of them. Go over here. I'm going to make myself one more gem shield. Just choose the gem I have the most of at this point. And the metal I have the most of, the bear pelt I have the most of, and that'll work. Now, the other thing, a critical thing, you want to have good heals on you. I'm carrying with me grilled meat and tropical smoothies. These both heal very quickly. The tropical smoothie does a good amount of healing. 4 hearts, something like that. Grilled meat can give you 1.5 extra hearts. So, to start off, I'm going to go to a spot that I know I've seen them spawn before, down at this Lost Isles beachside bus stop. And what I'm doing right now, I'm going to find the bus stop by letter. Sometimes clicking on the Klombo icon actually sends me to the other one with the Klombo icon. It gets confused. I don't know why. It just glitches like that sometimes. But we're going to go fly down there, see what we can find. Actually, I know what we're going to find. We're going to find one, but it's not going to be Stormwild. In fact, in this video, I'm going to fight a total of 3, I think, golems. The first 2 are not Stormwild. I skip over one. There's going to be some bear fighting action in here, too. But there's going to be a lot of running around on the island looking for golems. And because of that, I'm going to be speeding up a lot of the video for you. Again, apologies for the video audio quality. I don't feel... I might later go back and redo this, but this took a greater part of an hour. Only about 40 minutes, really, but still... you have to kind of, you might get lucky and find one on your first try, but I find that they drop Stormwild Golems about 10% of the time, maybe 10 to 20. So you can expect to get 1 out of every 5 to 1 out of every 10 will be Stormwild. And what you have to watch for, well, watch this. See what happened there? I had my shield up, but my back turned. I got hit in the back. I got donkey punched in the back, which is why I took damage. And these guys pack a wallop. The Stormwild ones may or may not pack more of a wallop. They do seem to have sometimes a faster reaction time and less ability to be stunned when you hit them. I'm not entirely sure about that, and I just got hit by that boulder. See? You have to be careful in these battles. One of the main things you have to do is be ready to get away, be ready to have your shield keep your shield face towards them as much as you can. Obviously, I wasn't able to there. And then, if you can manage this strategy, get them to throw a boulder at you by staying far enough away, then run up and start hitting them, and hope that you get there in time, which I did not. You can sometimes get this into a rhythm where you're repeating the same thing over. But you see, I didn't even attempt that time because I did not feel that. I felt a punch coming. But yeah, let's go at this again. Run up. So you're trying to go for the hands or the arm, and oops. So you end up having to get a bit closer than you feel like you should. So what you'll notice here is a lot of times when I'm doing this, my first swing at him, I'm actually missing. I'm not getting up close enough. You have to get up. You have to really butt up into them to where your character stops running, and then you swing. Even though it looks like you might be able to reach them with your pickaxe, a lot of times you can't unless you really get in there. And this is what you want. Ideally, you want to get up there, get a good swing, get them to turn their back to you. Then you can get a couple more in. Otherwise, you know, the name of the game is to go slow and steady. And see, I got lucky there. Go slow and steady, don't get greedy. Now, when they got their backs turned to you, they have a slow reaction time, as you can tell. So you have some opportunities there. You just got to be careful when they're facing you. So I'm going to look in that dark region there on the map. I haven't been there, but what I have noticed is that they tend to be not too far from roads, but kind of in valleys, not necessarily on the road. See, there's a tomato head one, and watch here on the HU around 3 or 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock. It looks like there's a nanner golem somewhere. But you see that guy down there? He is not Stormwild. Let's leave him alone. And this is what's weird, okay? And the way these things are is, it seems all you have to do is move off of that tile and come back, and they can either be gone, or if they're not there, they can just suddenly respawn when you were just there like 2 minutes ago. I'm actually going to get on Klombo here, do a little bit of riding around. I'm going to go back and see if I can find that tomato head again. Like, he was literally just right there. Like, he was right there on the other side of that tree. That's where we saw him. He's not there anymore. He's not showing up on the HD. And I kind of looked for the nanner one. I didn't see any sign of that. So we're just going to keep looking around at this point. So I'm just using the battle bus to get myself a little bit further into this valley. Let's see, got some wolves, we got all kinds of your normal baddies. Looks like that one's pineapple. I don't have pineapple in my inventory right now, so we're going to skip that. Actually, I'm going to get low on my inventory space too. We're going to be doing some shuffling. This would have been a good place to use the airship with the extra chests on it for storage. To be honest, going around looking for golems. You do have to be careful if you do take your airship not to land it close enough to the golem that the golem destroys it. That is a real major risk. But if I hadn't mentioned before, and if you're not familiar, golems are invulnerable to any type of aerial attack, meaning like distance weapons. So you have to actually get in there and fight them with melee weapons. So I apologize for not saying that up front. If that was confusing to anybody, I'm saying it now. So, you know, you literally have to get in there and fight them face to face. So we're going to slow things down a bit here. We just took care of some tomato heads, and there's a bear. Now, sometimes my aim is really good and I can one-shot these spiders. But other times, as you can see with this bear, sometimes it's hard to get your arc right, and there I was over him, which is good enough to wake him up. I got a shot on him there, but now I'm underneath. So that was 2 for 4. Not very good stats. And the thing with bears is they run fast, and they've got a powerful swipe. So, you know, you want to have good totems on you. I've got 2 regeneration, and then the recall one, as you would in expert mode. But really the best way is to be running back away from them, and you gotta time your dodge right in order to get underneath that paw and scoot out of the way. See, I did it, timing was not right there. But there he goes, he's dropped. And this Rolly, who tried to third party me, we're just gonna take him out. We're gonna make some crab soup. We can maybe add some small fry to that. We'll have a paella. That's what we'll do. So continuing on, we're gonna keep looking. Now the next golem that I fight is also not Stormwild, but it is also really uncharacteristic. One of the things I'm doing here, I'm checking out some of the other beach areas that, like, I have seen them spawn here. I've gotten Nana Golems here. I don't think it matters the area, whether it's a Nana or a Tomato Head, but there's not one there this time. I'm going to try to get on these islands, and I'm going to fail. And I don't think there was actually a golem platform on that island group anyway. We're going to go back to the first spot in hopes that maybe it respawned. But as you can see, we're here. This is where we fought the first one. He is not here. So let's go back. Let's keep going back to this spot, and we're going to go like west. I've got an area marker, a flag that I'm not going to fight this other bear, but I'll take that. I always need blast core. See that paw there on the map? That's where I've seen one spawn before, so we're going to check that out. We got a bunch of other NPC bad guys. And kind of, to the extent that we can, I try to, when there's some OP beasties, I try to let them fight each other and then come in afterwards. There's no point in spreading your battle too thin. But here we got another Tomato Head, and at first I thought he was Stormwild. That's my marker. I thought he was a Stormwild, but I think I was just seeing a little bit of purple reflecting off of him. I'm going to take care of some of these side characters here. Because what's going to happen is if I go start fighting something and there's some other stuff in the area, they're just going to come and join in and third party me. But here we go back, and there he is. Okay, let's slow back down here. Now, I am not in the best situation for the stone throwing thing because of the hill. I barely getting underneath it there. And only get a couple hits there before I run away. Of course, I can't sprint because I have my shield up. I'm going to wait for him to throw again. But as you can see here, I feel like I'm just barely underneath that boulder, so I don't like this. I don't like being uphill from them when they're throwing stuff, so I'm going to move around to the side of the hill and even try to be a little bit downhill from him. It's going to give me a lot more clearance if he's throwing stuff over my head from above than from below me. But this is where things get weird. Because if you see, this golem is just staring at me. He's got that 20-yard gaze. And he's got like sad-looking eyebrows. And he's not even fighting back. Guys, what is this? I have never seen a golem react this way, or rather not react this way ever before. It's like he gave up on life. I almost feel bad. But that one's down. I'm just going to shuffle a little bit of inventory. I want to take some more granite back. Sorry, Kaz. I'm not a huge fan of the cheese. I use it for pizzas, and that's about it. We're going to continue looking. I like to use treetops to scout out an area. I don't always get into the treetops I want. But look at this, guys. Watch over to your left. See what we got just appeared there? Can you tell there's purple there? I can. We found him. We found our Stormwild. Now, I've already completed the quest. I've already got the trophy, but, you know, again, the whole point of this video is just to show a bit of strategy, things to kind of keep in mind. See, I'm trying to be good about once he hits me from the front and goes behind me, I want to spin around, keep that shield between me and him. Now, I'm not able to do this consistently now, but I'm trying, and that's the point. And the point here is to communicate. It's not that I'm going to do a perfect job, but, you know, I am going to do a good enough job. See, that was bad. I missed, and then I got punched. I really feel like landing that first hit really quickly after they throw is critical. I feel like getting that first hit in slows them down enough that you can get 2 or 3 more, but if you're late by like half a second, they recover and then they start attacking back. And I kind of feel the Stormwild golems are even a little bit faster than the normal ones. Like, I kind of feel like they recover themselves a bit quicker. Which is interesting because when you think of like Stormwild rollies, some of the Stormwild rollies will just, you can shoot them with a crossbow and they'll just sit there looking at you, just like that golem was. It's almost like, well, it's kind of like they've got some disease, right? It's kind of like they've got like rabies or something. There we go. And that's what I like to see there. You got a good couple hits in there. Don't forget your dodge. You got to use your dodge and roll a lot. And then make sure when you're running underneath that boulder, you're not holding your shield up, because it will tell you can't run. Even though right there, you notice I'm running with my shield up. It is letting me. Sometimes it does, other times it will say you cannot run right now. And I don't know why that is. The game does not always behave consistently, and I am kind of doing a no-no, running with my back to him, but I kind of figured he was about done. We got him worked down a bit, now he's in the red. He's only got a little bit more to go. Run underneath that, switch back to my pickaxe. Yeah, I chose wisely there. I only went for 1 hit. If I had gone for 2, I would have gotten slapped. Alright. Now you see, I've fought 3 and they haven't taken down the shield yet. But if I were using my knockback shield, I think it would have been broken after the first one. And I thought I had him right there, but apparently it did not. But there he goes. He dropped. And I'm just going to shift a bit of my stuff and get the Storm Core. But, you know, again, apologies for the sound on the original recording. If I'm able to come back and re-record this, but like right now we're just not going to. But otherwise, thank you guys for joining me. This is Avi. Avi out. Peace.